Have you ever felt so down in your life that you didn't want to shower? You didn't care if you stink or there's no point in taking a shower and you have no energy whatsoever to take one or even think that you are worthy of a shower because you felt so down that taking a bath isn't important. Welcome back to my channel, and this is Kowe. This is the second entry of my video diaries, and I would like to give an advance warning to those watching this content. If ever during watching this video you felt triggered, or it brings unpleasant memories, or brings up things that would affect your health, especially mentally and emotionally, please take a break and prioritize your health and mental wellness. Also, don't shy away from uh, medical help if you need one. Ask for the appropriate medical professionals if you need some help. So, let's get into it. Uh, there was a time when I felt so down that I didn't feel like going out. I just want to lay in bed whole day. I just felt so drained. Um, I would I would eat whenever I feel like it. If if I feel like eating, but I was so down that time. All I do was sleep all day. Like I felt like sleep was the only thing that could relax me, or at least um, make me comfortable, or not think about a lot of things. Anyway, I am the type of person who doesn't want to wallow in those dumps. I do I mean I do wallow, but I give it time, like maybe 3 days, 5 days. I'm guilty of that. Then after that, I felt like I need to clean the room, I need to shower, I need to get my life back. That that's how I felt during those times. Like I didn't want to talk to anybody. I just want my time to myself. I always want to fight those things. I don't, because I'm not saying that uh, asking for help is bad. I'm just saying that I don't want to get, you know, taking those medicines or whatever, or asking for a checkup for your mental health, which is should be okay. But I feel like if I started drinking those things, I feel like I wouldn't be in control of a lot of things in my life. I feel like if I started with those things, it will affect me. Maybe cure or treat me in some way, but I also believe that it will alter something in my head that I won't be getting back. But again, this is not against medical advice. If you actually need help, go get help. But in my case, I would like to approach my problems like this, with picking myself up. This is not toxic positivity or anything. For Before everything else, the first thing I believe is picking yourself up. Because no matter what treatment or anybody tells you how would you overcome times like those, if you don't want to pick yourself up, if you don't think that you want to get better, I feel like it's really, I mean, you will get well maybe, but it makes a lot of difference if a person, well, from my experience, shows up for themselves. I know it's triggering for some people, but for me that's my truth. If I can show up for myself, how would I expect to, get better? Or anyway, there were also times that people would say, Why would you feel down? You have sort of everything. Maybe not everything. We're not rich. But, people would say, you don't have to work for a lot of stuff. You were given good education. You weren't deprived of the basic things or the necessities to be able to, well, somehow expect success in your life. But here we are. I didn't want this for myself too, but things happen. Also, nobody wants to fail. Who who wants to fail in their life? But somehow life always give you I I want to curse about that, but let's keep it PG. Life throws you poop. Life throws you a lot of curveballs that you think you are well equipped to handle, but it hits so hard that sometimes you really got to just, lay down. It's okay, just lay down a bit. But then but also me, I cannot afford to lay down, just lay down because, again, the pressure of succeeding, the pressure of wanting to help the family, wanting to, you don't want to be a burden. But somehow, here I am. I am still trying to get my life together. I'm pretty sure a lot of people can relate to this, that they did everything to be successful or to make it in whatever field they chose, but life is not like that. It's not a straight path. Sometimes life really throws you out of your game and you just, I don't know what happened. You got swept into it. But I also think about it. People say, oh, oo nga. Like, yes, we were provided good education and we did not, we weren't deprived. We were okay. I mean, Sometimes most people would tell us, maybe they are so contented with their life that they do not want to push themselves to achieve greater goals. Not just because I don't openly say my goals in life or my dreams and aspirations. Most of the time, it doesn't mean I don't have one. I dream to travel the world, to have my dream house, to have my family, to be good and help people in my field. But here we are. Sometimes it's okay to cry. Just cry it all out as if your eyes are gonna. I don't want to cry. I cry so ugly. I don't want people see me crying because first of all, when I was in high school, there was one incident where I cried because I wasn't able to hold it in, and some mean classmates were laughed at me for crying. But other than that, most of the time my reason is I cry ugly. I don't cry like there's a tear in the middle. I cry like I look like Peppa Pig. Ay, Peppa Pig. Peppa Frog. Peppa Frog. During or after I cry, it's so swollen. I look like Peppa Frog. I know Peppa. The 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 frog meme. You know what I mean. But yeah, and it's hard to it's hard to hide whenever I cry because I look like Peppa Frog. I even tried using ice or the spoon thingy to, lessen the swelling of the ice. But it's still there. And I kind of, in our country, people would say, you were bitten by the cockroach, right? Because your eyes are like that. No. Of course, I would say yes, but yeah. And some people would also just don't want to say anything about it because they know I cried. So I tried to practice not crying and trying out techniques on the internet how not to cry. Try to focus on something, deep breathing so the tears can be reabsorbed back to the tear ducts or something like that. Yeah. Also, I know someone who told me that, being down in the dumps like that, you can afford that. I can't afford that. And I was like, why? Is is our socioeconomic status and does it dictate who can be down in the dumps and who cannot be? So if you're rich, people, I don't know. I know there are still people who say, "Oh, nag-iinarte lang 'yan," or like they're just making it up or like just having drama. But if it's the on the lower class, they would say it's either I don't have the capacity to get sick or the capacity to get down because I said, why? Why wouldn't I know it sounds bratty from some point of view, but I said, why can't you be down? You're just a person. But then that person told me, because if I get down, I cannot work or I cannot study. That means that I will be a burden to my family, and it means cost of um the hospital or profession, I don't know, medical maybe. Or also, if you get down, you can't work, then you can't pay the bills. So that's also valid. So somehow he pointed out, you are so privileged enough to get to have that kind of, time to get down, downtime, something like that. But he was right. If and he was saying that between you and me, if we change places, I would have achieved something better, because he said that he didn't have that much opportunity compared to me. He was right. Maybe maybe what if I'm in his place, would I just also have downtime and just starve to death because I'm just down? He was also right about that. But then again, we will never know. Maybe because it depends on the person, if they have the will or the grit to push through, even though, or maybe it's not even about the will or the grit. Maybe they don't have the choice. The choice is be down or starve. So of course you don't have time to be depressed, something like that. Also these days, people use, I do believe in this. A lot of people weaponize mental health as an excuse for a lot of things. A lot of people will be angry with this, but that is true. People weaponize mental health. I know, in this moment in time, in this generation, or in this point in time, especially during the pandemic, mental health was like a big thing. Till now, it's getting bigger than people would have imagined. Before, people would say, "Oh, it's something trivial. Maybe it's just in your head, or you just need to exercise, or you just need to eat a balanced diet, or you just need sunshine." But truth is, there is such thing as mental health, and people need to get checked if you really need that. But for me, again, my experience, I would really think of the costs first, and also my personal belief that if I started that kind of treatment, I feel like I wouldn't be me. I know, I don't know, because I haven't checked myself if I need the treatment. But I would like to believe that I don't need that. I I just need to rest and have my downtime, something like that. But then again, it at the back of my mind, that thought is telling me this is not rock bottom. Remember when you said that this something, insert random experience before, was your rock bottom? Apparently it's not. As you get older, challenges keep piling up, and the time you thought it was your rock bottom wasn't this. There will always be a new rock bottom for a person. We all have different rock bottoms, but for me, my current rock bottom is I'm still with my parents. I'm still studying to get a license, and I feel like, I know my parents didn't say that they wouldn't give me allowance because I'm not a student anymore. I'm a grown woman, and by now I should have had my job and taking my salary and whatever. But that's my rock bottom now. I felt like if my plans panned out, I wouldn't be in this problem. But then again, life throws you in a very not favorable moment in life. And I'm starting to believe that what doesn't break you or kill you that makes you stronger. No, it just makes you test stuff which ones will make you or break you. But yeah, I cannot afford to, that's what's eating me. I cannot afford to have the downtime or to be carefree when I see my parents working and they're getting old and I want to be useful to them because they worked hard to put us through school and brought us up in a good environment. So I want to give back to them. And please don't don't if ever you know the recent issue with the certain Olympiad and his family, that's a different issue. But yeah, sometimes you have to look, and sometimes your family can also be your worst enemy or nightmare. Because the truth is, when I failed that exam, I wasn't sad for me. Well, I was sad because I felt stupid that I failed that exam. But mostly, I was sad because that means I can't help with my family and I'm still gonna rely on them. Com- I mean, I would still rely on them even after I pass the exam. But compared to failing the exam, it means hmm, I've read this quote in Reddit. It was so accurate. Somebody posted, I think it was quoted from a rapper. Libreng mangarap, mahal mabigo. It means it's free to dream, but it's it's costly or it's expensive to fail. It's true. It's free to dream because dreaming is it's free. You can just dream of a lot of things, but failing to follow up on your dreams means a lot of expenses. Like me, since I failed that exam, I have to retake it again. And that means I have to study a lot before taking again that exam. I have to prepare. I cannot I cannot have that breakdown or carelessly relax or just put it on the side. No, I cannot because time is running and I want to give back to my parents, to my family until they're still on God's earth. They're really old, but they're still working and that 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 bothers me. And by the way, I'm the eldest. I'm the eldest of four siblings. So that bothers me. That I feel like I have the responsibility to lead by example, but apparently still on that front, I'm still failing. Although I am thankful for a lot of people telling me that's just a bump in the road on the road. you are trying to get. It's just a minor setback. It's just delayed success. But it doesn't change the fact that it is expensive for that delayed success. It is frustrating. And I'm taking my time to study and also because I'm studying, there are a lot of things that's happening in the family. You can't study 24 hours a day unless you have all the resources in the world and you don't have uh, a worry in the wind or something. I don't I don't know how to put it, but yeah. Somebody also told me that you failed. Did you think that was your 100%? Because if you failed and it wasn't your 100%, why are you taking it without 100%, you know, preparing for that exam? Or if you think that was your 100% exam, then that means there's no point in retaking that exam because it's your 100%. Can you be like 101 the next? It means you've gave it all but still you failed. So what's the point of trying again? It was harsh, but then I started questioning, is it really my 100%? Maybe not, but what do you mean 100%? For those failing to get their respective licenses in their field, where are you now? Is the grass greener when you have your license? Or was there any discrimination because you failed before you actually got your licenses? But mostly my concern is time. I'm getting old. And even though people say age is not just a number, but there are a lot of hurdles when you age. Even having a family, age is also a consideration. So, yeah, I'm concerned about my age. Though, so back on that matter, I picked myself up. I tried cleaning my room, I showered, I ate. Oh, also another guilty way of procrastinating or at least running away from my stress is reading manhwas, reading mangas, watching animes. Yeah, like that. It's so hard these days to be in a very competitive world when people get so unkind. But I also think people weaponize mental health for a lot of reasons. Sometimes I think people do not really try to want themselves to get better. They keep on using it as an excuse. But for those who actually are having mental health problems and actually consulted with people, the medical professionals that actually know something, sure. But for those claiming about something that they weren't diagnosed or something, then why not ask for medical advice if or medical from a medical professional if you really have certain problems in that area? Because you cannot, I feel like it's a it's an insult to people saying that I am depressed. But do you really know what being depressed is like? Someone once told me that being there, you know, it feels like all hope is gone. It's like, what's the point of this life? There's no point waking up another day. And my only answer to that is, habang may buhay, may pag-asa. When there's life, there's hope. As long as you are breathing, you you are living, there will always be a chance to redeem yourself. There will always be, I don't know, a chance to rise up, because somebody told me also that the only way is up. Because if you think you're at rock bottom, then you the only way or the only direction you can look at is up. Like, literally, if you're rock bottom, unless you think that's not your rock bottom, and you're in a quicksand of a lot of things, that you feel like whenever you do a move, you keep on sinking into your problem, then ask for someone else's help. Sometimes we all just need a bit of helping hand, and it just takes one person to change another person's life. You may not know it, but you made you made somebody else's life change for the better, but you weren't aware of it. Oh, also this one. Whenever I feel down in the dumps and I don't feel like there's point in my future or anything, I would tell myself, you are one piece of expensive gem. Why? How many rice did you eat in your lifetime? Just compute that. Just rice alone. And then if you weren't satisfied about the rice, then compute how many liters of water have you drank since you were born. All the just the idea of computing how many resources were put into you or used to raise you, and how many people, it takes a village to raise a kid. So just thinking about the people who raised you, it makes a lot of difference. Being grateful about a lot of things. Also, be kind. I know it's easy to say that, be kind, but if you have the chance to be kind to a person, be kind. I know a lot of people are starting to be not kind or unkind, because or start to not believe in kindness, because a lot of people are taking advantage of people's kindness. That's a different thing. Like, if somebody needs a friend to talk to, why not talk to them? Sometimes someone just needs someone to talk to, or someone they can relate to. When I was also down in the dumps, I googled I googled stuff like, what would your yes, I'm that kind of person where If I can't ask for a friend, I would ask a lot of things on the internet if for things, because sometimes a stranger's kindness can make a whole lot of difference to another person. You may not remember that you made something some you may not remember something you did kind to a random person, but what if you made their day? What if that act of kindness saved them a lot of time? I'm not saying to be kind all the time. I'm just saying that there are moments that being kind is better than being right. But again, in this country where a lot of people always take sides, I would also want to point out that people should be case to case in any situation, because one answer cannot be the answer to everything. I feel like I've been rambling on my video diaries. See, if I try to write these things in my diary, I wouldn't be able to keep up with the speed of what my thoughts are. Oh, also, I tried journaling, but I cannot do that all that. So I wrote a letter to myself whenever I was down, or what was what are the things that were so bad at that point in my life that I feel like there's no point in my future. And then whenever I go back to those notes, I would tell myself, it wasn't so bad. Maybe it was that bad that time, but now I look at it now, it wasn't so bad. Why was I so down that time? It wasn't so bad. So for those out there feeling like you hit rock bottom, the only way is up. That's and when there's still life, there's still hope. There will always be hope. So I hope you wouldn't pass out on this life, because you are cherished. You are cherished, you are important, even if you don't feel like you are one, even if you feel like you don't have friends. But these days, I consider, like, I feel like I have no friends. But the truth is, we have friends. It's just that they are so busy going on their own paths that we lost touch, or we don't have the time to connect with them. So whenever you feel like you don't have friends, just try to message them. Just leave a message, and I'm sure they will message you back, something like that. So for you out there who feels like you are under so much despair, you are burnt out, you broke down, for take a rest, take a breather, ask for help, mm, talk to someone, because you don't know, maybe this is just a bump in the road, just like somebody told me. And pray, because I know we all have different religions, or if you don't have one, but praying helps. When when you don't have anybody, you just tell it to that somebody up there, or maybe not up there, but to that entity or that being that loves you unconditionally, even though you're in the down in the dumps. Praying helps. So I hope everybody don't lose hope. There's always hope for everybody. There's always a chance to rise above the occasion. So that's why I cannot afford to just fall down and just lay there, because if I do that, then I'm losing my chance at a better opportunity, or a chance to make myself happy, to make others people happy. So no man is an island. Live for others and find your purpose. I think every person needs a purpose in life to be happy. That's it for my entry today. I hope that you don't give up on yourself. Take a rest whenever you're tired, pray, and don't lose hope. Just don't lose hope. That's all.